hello everyone, and welcome to our Junior Ranger program here at our Gaviota Coast State Parks. My name is Parker, and can you guess what we might be talking about today? Well, if you said birds, you got it right. We're gonna fly into the world of birds today and talk about a lot of the different birds that we might see in our campground if you were to go camping at our parks, or even some of those birds that live along the coast and in the ocean. Some of those marine birds, we'll also see a little bit about them. And well, what do you say? Should we talk about some of these birds? Do you think, should we share it with them, with our friends? Oh, okay, I think that's a great idea. Well, this is actually a robin. This is one of the common birds that we do see. Okay, wait, I do have another common bird that we do also see here. It is this one right here. Can you guess what this is? Well, when we're identifying birds, we like to look at their shapes and also their colors too. That's right, this is a blue jay. Yep, our blue jays, or our scrub jays are also known as. We have these that live in our state parks. Okay, well, let's see. I wonder what this is. Ooh, I'll give you a hint. They like to get nectar out of flowers. Ooh, they make a humming noise. Wow. If you said this was a hummingbird, you got that right. Especially in the springtime along the trails, we do tend to see these guys as they flutter around looking for their nectar. One of my favorite birds, because they're all quite amazing, is this one right here. As it likes to dive, and they build nests too. We see these building their nests under the railroad trestle at Gaviota State Park. Do you know what this is? Well, this is a cliff swallow, and we'll talk a little bit more about these friends a little bit later, who live at another park too, just north of where we're at. Ooh, one of the most iconic birds is this one here. Yep, they're a little bit rare to see in our state parks, but it is still possible. You may see them. Do you know what it's called? Oh yeah, that's right. This is a bird of prey, and this is the bald eagle. Yes, an iconic American symbol. Well, I don't know. Do you know who this might be? That's right. This is an owl. Yeah, this one's a baby great horned owl. Yep, we do have lots of different owls. We have great horned owls and barn owls. They both live in our state parks, and we can hear them at night because they are nocturnal. Well, there's another species that lives in our state park that is nocturnal, and it's this one right here. Whew. Do you know what this is? Is this a bird? Wait, birds have wings, don't they? Yep, they do. Birds do have wings. Well, is this a bird? Oh no, that's right. This is not a bird. This is a bat. A lot of the children who visit our parks see these in the evening times, and they think that these are in fact birds, but these are not birds. These are bats. These are mammals, and we know they're mammals because they have fur. So all mammals have hair on them, just like how people are mammals, and we have hair as well. But bats, they are mammals, but these are indeed not birds, but they are nocturnal, similar to some of those other birds like our owls. Well, let's go ahead and talk about some other features of birds. How does that sound? Well, look at these. What part of the bird is this? Well, if you said this was a part of the wings, you got it right. These are the wings of a bird. Well, what are on their wings? That's right. feathers. Yes, birds, they have feathers. Remember, we just talked about that all birds have feathers, and feathers are very important because they help cover the bird's body, helps keep them warm. It also allows them to fly. Ooh, and birds, depending on the color of their feathers, it either allows them to camouflage or blend in with their surroundings. But these are their feathers here on their wings. Well, I actually have a feather that I wanted to take a closer look at. Here it is, right here. This is a feather that I have. And on our feathers, there's a couple different parts of it. This part right here is called the vane of the feather. This part down at the bottom is the shaft. We do have some after feather down here. And all of these feathers are all connected by little barbs. They're little barbs on the inside if we look really closely at these feathers. But these are a very important characteristic of birds, is their feather. And there's actually people who study feathers. And the study of feathers is called plumology. That is people who study feathers are plumologists then. Well, there's also another important feature of birds, and that happens to be their bones. Here's one of their bones right here. And if we look carefully in the center, these bones are hollow. Yeah, a lot of birds have hollow bones on them. Us people, our bones are very dense, but birds, they do have hollow bones. Well, one of my favorite birds, I have to say, I think this is my favorite bird, is this guy right here. This is its skull. Can you guess what bird this might be? Well, this is a skull of a woodpecker. And woodpeckers, they have very long beaks. Look at the size of its beak. Yeah. Well, I want you to think about what could it need this very long beak to do? Well, these woodpeckers, they like to peck holes. Yep, they use them and they peck holes on the inside of the branches of a tree or even on the trunk of a tree. And they do that because they do hide food on the inside. And I'm looking in here. This is a branch from a pine tree. There's actually something in there. Can you see that? Well, I've got another one right here. Well, this woodpecker, it left behind some acorns. That's a common part of their diet, are acorns. So it left behind some acorns on there. So that's where it hides its food. It also looks for bugs and other things. But our woodpeckers, one of the absolute most fascinating bird species who live in our parks. Well, okay, in order to see our next bird species, which is a bird of prey, we have to remember some of those things that we do when we go birding. And one of those things is we have to be quiet because we need to listen for signs of birds. We need to hear them chirping as they flutter in the sky, or if they're perched in a branch. So, okay, now we have to be on the lookout for some birds. Are you ready to look? We have to be very quiet as we do so. Okay, let's look. Is there any this way? Well, how about this way? Let's look. Can you hear anything? Wait. Do you see something? No way. Okay, wait. I think I see something over here. Well, let's get a closer look. Wow. Look at this. This here, this is a hawk. And when we look at it, this is a red-tailed hawk, one of the most commonly sighted species in our parks. We see them generally on land. They're looking for food. They like to eat rodents and squirrels, snakes, and even lizards. They like to eat all sorts of good things like that. Do you like to eat any of those? Well, these hawks, that's what they like to eat. But you can see the hawk, it does have feathers. Remember, all birds do have feathers. And look at its beak. Remember we said all of those yummy, delicious foods they eat? They use those really sharp beaks to do that. And they capture all of their prey with their talons. These are the talons of the bird. Do you have nails like this? Do you have talons? Well, I know I don't have any. But this is our hawk, one of the most iconic birds of prey that live in our state park. So I wanted to be sure to share this with you today. Well, now where do birds live? Do they live in houses like we live in? Oh, that's right. Birds, they don't live in houses like we do. They have their own houses, just like this. Their homes that they live in are called nests. Take a look at this nest here. What do you think it's made from? Well, this nest is made from grasses and hair. And so this here is a sparrow nest. So this is one of the types of nests that we have. So, well, I do have another type of nest. Okay, well, it is actually right here. Wow, who do you think could live in this nest? Well, this is a crow's nest. We even have our crow in here right now. Well, and the crows, they use sticks and pine needles even too to build their nests. And this crow was pretty smart. They use string to tie their nest together to hold it in place. And if we even look in here, there's some blue plastic strips that the bird used in their nest. So this is another type of nest, our crow's nest. Well, do all birds, do you think, have nests made either from grasses or sticks? Well, some birds build their nests in other places. They build them in the eaves of buildings, just like this nest right here. Well, is this made from grass or sticks? It isn't. Well, this nest here is made from mud. So as you can see, there are just so many different types of nests that birds can make. We've traveled just a little bit north of our beautiful state beaches along the Gaviota Coast to a park known as La Parispa Mission State Historic Park. And we came here to get an up-close view at some pretty amazing birds. Well, now if you listen carefully, you might be able to hear them. Well, they make short little chirping noises, and when we identify birds, we do that based on the chirps that they make. And by the chirps that I'm hearing, they kind of sound like a chirp, 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 chirp. Well, based on that, I know they're this bird right here. This here is a cliff swallow. Yep, these cliff swallows, they're a migratory bird species, which means they only live here part of the year. The rest of the year, they migrate down to Mexico and all the way down even to South America. But they come up here every year to La Parispa Mission, and they happen to build some nests. Unlike other birds who build their nests in trees, these birds right here, they build them somewhere special. So let's go ahead, we're gonna look up. I want you to see if you can notice anything. Well, do you see those little, kind of like a beehive looking thing? Well, those up there, those are their nests that they make. I actually have one of their nests up here so we can take a closer look at it. These nests are made out of mud, similar to like our mission walls. They're made from adobe. But these nests, they're made from mud. They're not made from grasses or anything like that, or sticks. And so they just take their beaks and they'll go and gather some clay from the local deposits, and then they'll form it together. And you can see all the little globs of mud, all that clay that's in this nest. But this is their nest that's up in the eaves of the buildings right here at La Purisma Mission. Now they come in the middle of spring and they'll be here through the middle of summer. And they come here for one important thing. It's because they want to build their nests, but they also come here to lay their eggs. This is a swallow egg from one of the eggs that has hatched. But swallow eggs, they kind of have little brown dots on them and they're white in the background. But these are their eggs, and that's one of the main reasons they come here, to build their nest. And then as soon as the babies are big enough, they're just gonna go ahead and they're gonna fly back with their parents down to South America. We've got some of those birds flying up here, which is pretty exciting. Well, a fun fact about these swallows too is that the same birds will go back to the same nest every year. If you take a look up in the sky, let's see if you can identify any of these swallows. Do you see them fluttering? Yep, there they go. Yep, they're just fluttering up in the sky, flying around, going in and out of their nests. Alright, well, I wanted to go over a couple things because birding and searching for birds is just so much fun. Now, I encourage all of you to do this in your homes and in your neighborhoods and even in your backyards. Now, there are a couple things to remember when we're looking for birds. Remember, we have to be quiet because we don't want to scare the birds away. And because I know sometimes even I get excited when I see a bird, but we have to make sure we still stay quiet because we don't want to scare it away. But we also need to be quiet too, because remember, we need to listen to see if we can hear any birds, because hearing is very important to identifying the bird. Now, we also do need to see the birds too. That's another important thing, because that's how we identify what type of birds they are, based on what color their feathers are, or their beaks, or even maybe if they have talons too. Those are all important features that we look for when we go birding. Well, I like to use something to see birds up really close when they're far away. I use these right here. These are my binoculars. Do you have any binoculars? Well, these are mine that I use. So I always just adjust them. I just twist these eye caps here so I get it up close, and then I kind of just adjust it until it's clear to see. I just get to look all through here, and you can see birds up really close with these. One of my favorite these binoculars are. So binoculars are a very important tool that we use. Now, there are just so many different types of birds that we have all throughout the world. And so, we identify those birds using books just like this. That is how we identify birds. So if I'm not too quite sure, I always look it up in a bird ID guide that I have. Just like this right here. This is a very important tool that we use. But I think the binoculars are very important too. Well, I have an idea of a craft that all of you can do at home. Well, you can make your own binoculars, just like these. Yeah, I actually made my own. Here they are right here. I decorated mine. But what you need to do that is you need to get either some paper towel tubes or some toilet paper tubes. You just take those, you take a stapler, you just staple them together, and there you have your binoculars. You can also choose to put some string on them, but make sure your parents help you with that. And then you too can go searching for birds in your backyards. And also I encourage you to decorate them with markers or stickers or paint, or even like glitter, whatever you might have at your house. But this is something really fun that you can do at your house in your backyard. Well, we have finally come to the end of our adventure today. And it is now time that we must do the Junior Ranger Pledge. So are you ready? Well, let's raise our right hand and repeat after me. I promise to treat the earth and all living things with care and respect. Be thoughtful about what I do and how it affects others. Learn about the importance of nature and our heritage. Great work, everyone, and I look forward to seeing all of you on our next adventure. Join us next time as we dive into the world of marine birds along our coastline.